What is up, FEG fam? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Tower Fantasy video. So I did want to discuss whether or not Claudia is worth pulling for. I know some people have that question, so I hope to answer it for you. Hopefully this video is helpful and hopefully you get something from it and enjoy it as well. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about it, and I hope to make it quick for you because I feel as if it's pretty straightforward, right? There are only really two scenarios that I can see where Claudia is worth pulling for, worth investing the premium currency. The first scenario being if you are planning on building a physical team. I think that goes without saying because she does have the physical resonance. It only makes sense. If you don't plan on building a physical team, then I just don't believe Claudia is worth it. However, if you do unlock the A1, then of course that's a different situation, which is actually my second scenario. They kind of go hand in hand. So the first one being if you plan on building a physical team, the second one being is if you can guarantee the A1, because if you are able to unlock at least the A1, that's where you're going to get the supporting capabilities that everybody's looking for within their Claudia to buff the damage. So if you are able to guarantee the A1 and you plan on building a physical team, then I think Claudia is most certainly worth pulling for and worth going for and worth investing into. You pair the A1 with everything else that's built into Claudia's base kit with the damage reduction, the immunity on the discharge, the high charge rate, the low skill cooldown, decent damage, nothing to write home about, but being able to do some decent damage on her own. And you have a very well-rounded, strong Simulacra that will pay dividends down the road when you start to round out that physical team with Shiro and then probably Lyra down the road. You're going to have a great team and one that's going to perform beautifully for you. But if those two scenarios are not in place for you, trying to build a physical team and unlocking the A1, then I just think Claudia is a skip. And for many of the reasons that I outlined in my prior video talking about the top 5 things to consider before you pull Claudia, a lot of those things that I mentioned still hold true for this video and whether you should pull. Many of the things that I mentioned in that video was the physical team and unlocking advancements, or the buffs being locked behind advancements, I should say. But if you're not trying to build a physical team, that means you're really trying to build a different team, whether it be Frost, Flame, or Volt. So if you're focusing on those, then you should really hyper focus on the Simulacras that really go into those teams. So for Frost, it'd be Saki Fuhua. You can also look at Tiang Lang for the Volt team, Ruby for the Flame team, and Cobalt B. So you have other Simulacras that you would want to be focusing on rather than Claudia. Now, once again, I did want to mention if you do unlock the A1, that does benefit. You can put or slot Claudia into like a flex position or the third slot, and she works in that. But you would really want to round your team out with the elements that are in there and maybe focus on those Simulacras. And the other thing that I outlined in that prior video of top 5 things to consider is that speculating and theorizing that Claudia could go into the standard banner, that's just something to take into consideration. She could go into the standard banner and you could get lucky with RNG and pull her from there with gold nucleus. So that's another thing to take into consideration. So those two scenarios need to be in place. If they're not in place, then I think Claudia's a skip. And I think it's really just as simple as that. And one thing that I just wanted to touch on, because I see it kind of floating around the community, is why pull for Claudia when you can just grab Linye down the road. I did want to go ahead and give my 2 cents on that topic. So first and foremost, one thing that's going to separate the two is the physical resonance. You have to take that into consideration for the physical team. But secondly, we don't know how Linye is going to be on the global side. We don't know what type of rebalancing they're going to do. However, with that also being said, I don't think the global development team for Tower Fantasy is going to nerf Linye too hard or rebalance her too much to where she's not usable or it upsets the community. I think she's still going to be strong, probably incredibly strong, and a great pickup. So you just have to wait and see, and hopefully we get some information relatively soon, with 2.0 probably around the corner and a lot sooner than we think. But anyways guys, I hope this video helped, and just to TLDR everything, 2 scenarios in place. If they're not, skip Claudia. You can probably get her in the standard banner if she goes into the standard banner, hopefully. or maybe get her down the road, right? Or you're just focusing on building a different team altogether, and this was never a focus for you anyways. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, I believe you should just be going for the simulacras that you enjoy though. Don't have anybody try and persuade you not to go for a simulacra just because of meta and things of that nature. If you really enjoy Claudia, you like the way she looks, you like the way she plays, no matter if you're going for a physical team or not, then play the game the way you want to play it. It's your account. Pull for Claudia. Go ahead and obtain her. Put her on your account. She's going to perform fine. She's going to do well. In this video, I'm just trying to give you the optimal scenarios, what's going to best enhance your account and progress your account. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys good information and pointing you in the right direction and helping you the best way I can. But make no mistakes, I love Claudia. I think she's fantastic. I think she's incredibly fun to play. I want to make sure I drive that point home. Incredibly fun to play. And if she's right up your alley in terms of character design, in terms of gameplay, then by all means, go ahead and grab her. She's going to perform well. Put her in the 3rd slot. You're going to be perfectly fine. She's going to give you the damage reduction, the immunities nonetheless, right? Anyways, I just want to make sure to touch on that and make sure that you guys are having fun, enjoying the game, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Meta's great, and making sure that you have a strong account is great, and making sure you're putting your resources in the right area is always useful, especially for free-to-play players or light spenders. That's why I make sure to do videos like this to give you guys good information and point you in the right direction. But if there's a character that you love, that you adore, that you must have, by all means, go ahead and grab them. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But anyways, I'm gonna get on out of here. Remember to stand out, be different, have fun, go further beyond in everything that you do. My name is Cody, but you can call me further. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye guys.